What's going on, guys? ¿Cómo están? ¿Qué tal? ¿Qué tal? ¿Qué tal? Let me just check if this mic is working. Yep. It's been a long time since I've done a stream, and sometimes with these things, like if you don't use them, you just have to like set up everything again. And I had it set up, but this cable thingy that I have adapter for my camera just keeps like shutting down. But okay, we're back, we're here, you know, that's what matters, that's what matters. And yeah, how guys have you been? Did you enjoy the international break? We are finally back. Let me just fix this camera. This angle is a little bit weird. There we go. So yeah, how have you been doing? Did you enjoy the international break? There were some interesting matches, but I'm really happy that we have finally back Barcelona playing again, La Liga, Champions League, Copa del Rey. Everything's gonna be coming. This is the final stretch of the season and everything to play for. And it's gonna be absolutely outstanding, so keep tuned into the channel. Let me start leaving me your questions for this one, and let's go right ahead into my reaction slash review of this game. I got some things noted down. You see I got this very nice notepad, a little bit of, you know, what happened in every single minute and things that I want to comment on. So the very first thing that I want to comment on is that Espanyol, the way that they set it up for this game was different from what I normally would anticipate. I expected for them to play with BugaLuis, 5 starts consecutively, then being bought by a Chinese new corporation. It all made sense. Everything was written on paper, and that didn't happen. Apparently, the manager from Espanyol decided to go with a much more defensive setup, which actually did work for Espanyol, especially when you wanted to contain Barcelona. This resulted for Yas being in the very first 10 minutes a very light game. A light game, that's the way I'm gonna call it, you know, free of calories, very light, nothing too spicy, exciting going on. It was just the same normal Barcelona trying to break down the defense of an opposition team that were basically just gonna park the bus and attack whenever they could in a counter. And with Espanyol then, yeah, it was very weird. I didn't expect them to go with a 4-4-1-1. I think you could say that better. A line of 4, 2 lines of 4, sorry, and then you have Oscar Melendo just behind Borja Iglesias, which was the main striker. In the 70th minute, we saw the very first chance through Coutinho, which was done by amazing pass from Lionel Messi. What else can we say from him today? Man of the match for Messi. Another man of the match for Messi. I think I've said that enough about him. In the 90th minute, we got another chance from Oscar Melendo, and actually 2 very consecutive chances from Espanyol. Espanyol, whenever they had the ball, they passed the ball to Melendo. And Melendo, he did play with Catalunya in the international break against Venezuela. And with that, I think, I don't know, perhaps he got a little more motivated, because in this game, everything that happened through him just ended up being a chance for Espanyol. Everything that went from Melendo just ended up giving Barcelona troubles. And that signifies a very good player. So Melendo, Oscar Melendo, a player to keep in touch. In the 20th minute, we got counterattack from Rakitic. And this one, I want to say, because Rakitic, we comment about, I also criticize Rakitic sometimes here on this channel. But one thing that he always does is he's a perfect combination for any type of player. When Barcelona were doing a counterattack in this one, we had Lionel Messi running through the middle, and then Rakitic continues the run, you know? That's something that Rakitic gives you. A midfielder that can cover up when Semedo goes out further forward in the right-hand side. He can cover up that flank. You need somebody to sit alongside Busquets to defend a counter-attack. He's there. And if you need someone to join the attack, Rakitic is also there. So in this game, as much as Rakitic can be, you know, unheard of throughout a game, he doesn't have the spotlight or anything like that. He still does a very good job in any kind of situation. And that's something that we gotta praise from this player. In the 26nd, we saw how Jordi Alba continued to overlap, and that's the main way that we had with Barcelona. And that's why later on, many of you are talking about Malcom. That is something that Malcom gives us, because Barcelona with Malcom now adds 2 more players that can have that ability. Without Dembélé, we look very lacking in that sense to try and penetrate and overlap and just get past the defenders. Jordi Alba was our only outlet during that first half. We saw probably like 8 times Messi trying to look for Jordi Alba. Some of the balls got there, some of the balls didn't. And that just signifies how Barcelona were lacking in those outlets, in those options to go further forward. And with that, Jordi Alba, once again, very good game from him. If we constantly give Jordi Alba space for him to run in and constantly give him the opportunities to create something, he's going to do so. He's very consistent in that manner. And then one thing that I mentioned in my preview that really didn't result in anything like I thought it was going to it was that Espanyol never really went to those dirty tactics. I mean, they pushed the line in the free kick trying to stop Messi, which we're going to talk about that free kick later. But they're just, I don't know, they decided to play more of an actual kind of like ball playing style of football. And that's something that I got encouraged and I was surprised really by them. In the 30th minute, it was the very first time we saw a foul, a genuine foul from Espanyol to strike on top the play from Barcelona, a foul on Semedo in the edge of the box. That's the very first time in the 30th minute where we saw Espanyol resulting to their OG tactics, you know, their fouls, their stuff like that. That was the very first time we saw it, so I was very, very surprised. Very, very surprised. 41th minute, the last thing in the first half before I move into some of your questions was, of course, the clearest chance for Barcelona. We saw a chance from Lionel Messi, and with this, I believe that that's when Barcelona ended a little bit of their, I'll say, composure in the very first half. Espanyol got a little more of players in attack. There was this like 10-minute lapse where we saw the game being played in the third quarters of the pitch. In that half between Espanyol and the half for Barcelona, not too many chances going one way, not too many chances going the other. And that's when basically the first half ended. Now let's look a little bit into your comments, what you have to say. We got Frozen9 saying, Malcom, thumbs up. Frozen9, Messi, thumbs up. Yeah, I agree with you as well. Those two were amazing players. Malcom arrives. He arrives, but I don't believe he's finally. Malcom has been there all this time, only that Barcelona, and more specifically Valverde, has not utilized him. So Malcom, for me, that's what he can bring, and that's why I encourage Valverde to do so before this very hard stretch to the season. We're going to need that if we want to win the Champions League. You want to need that if you're going to want to win La Liga, because if we got a game before, I don't know, the semifinals, the second leg of the quarterfinals, and we need to rest someone, Malcom needs to go there and show up. And if we need to get a goal in the last few minutes of a game to go through in the knockout tie, Malcom is there. And we're going to need type of players like him to be able to help us. And today, we saw how good of a revulsivo, of a second hand, Malcom can give to the team. Malcom gives Barcelona the chance to reach second gear. And that is what players, very special players, do. So Malcom, he's always there, man. We just need to utilize him a little bit more. Hardcore Football Fanatic saying, Malcom makes more quick one-touches to drive at defenders than Coutinho. Yes, I agree. And that's something that is a style of play of both players, which most of the time, most Brazilian people do. But the thing that most important for here, and for me, what I'm going to talk later on, when Malcom came in, Coutinho dropped into the midfield. And Coutinho then had that ability to do a lot more. The problem with Coutinho is that by his qualities as a player, he's not as fast. He's not as good in the acceleration or in a longer piece of, space to just go and run at it. In the other hand, Malcom and Dembélé are. So that's why Coutinho will never be able to succeed as a left winger position, because you need those attributes. You need that. The only way to do so if you have another player on the other hand that can do something like that. But in this case, we got Messi, and Messi and Coutinho cannot both be in the front three. They can't. That's simply that's not how football works. So with that, I believe that Valverde, they did make a very good decision, pushing Coutinho further back into the midfield. And we saw a very good second half from Coutinho. Honestly, I believe the second half from Coutinho was really good. And you know what's a great thing? We also saw a very good second half from Malcom. That's how Barcelona can get a team working, you know? Having both two players, having someone like Malcom, someone like Coutinho, both working coherently. And then we're just going to have a very good performance unitedly, like as a team. And that is something that I want to see, you know? It's not either one or the other. It's not Malcom or Coutinho. It's not Dembélé or Malcom. It's not Dembélé or Coutinho. It's being able to have Coutinho, Dembélé, and Malcom. And that's what I want to see, you know? That's what I want to see. Swami Om saying, do you think that Coutinho gives Barcelona more dynamism in the midfield? Yes, I totally agree. That's one thing that when we are saying Barcelona, oh, look at the sluggish midfield, every time we see Vidal, Busquets, and Rakitic, that's where every fan and every reporter, every person who watches that game can see that Barcelona's midfield are not as good, because we're lacking that dynamism. It's not that it's generally bad, but we just lack that kind of like that spark that can ignite something. Coutinho in the midfield, he does that like a god. Frozen9 asking me, what do you think of Semedo and Roberto? I believe that Semedo was having a very good game, and I was honestly surprised that he did not feature for longer. But then you can also say that Valverde is trying to rotate him a little bit. Let's also remember that, in all honesty, if someone like Jordi Alba gets injured, we're going to need those two players. And the most important thing here that I actually have it wrote down somewhere around in this freaking notebook, it's actually here, is that Valverde wants to give them all enough minutes so they're all ready to go. You know, they're raring to go. That's what we need. In this final stretch, like I said with Malcom, we need all our players working. We cannot have 11 players at 100% and then our remaining substitutes being like at 40%. No, we need them all at 100% because football is not about just the 11 players on the field. It's also about the players that can come and impact that squad. And that is something that I want to see from Valverde too. And he's doing it very good. So I got to praise him for that. I really got to praise him for that. And with Sergio Roberto, well, the very same thing. Sergio Roberto in attack is a little more potent, let's say, coming a little more inside. Semedo likes to stick to the flank, but either way, both of them are very good attackers, and Semedo a little bit better in defense, but doesn't detract anything from Sergio Roberto either. Damian Spence saying, I like what Valverde did. He made Coutinho drop deep and at Malcom hold his width. He had a different dynamic in this game. Yes, exactly. I already said it. Very good way from Valverde trying to read the game by putting both Coutinho and Malcom. And Diudu saying so much for Malcom, who hasn't played since the 1-1 El Clásico. He showed no sign of rust at all and gave an assist. I also noticed that the team were tired from the international break. I guess you could say that. I honestly don't think that they were tired. I think they were mostly kind of like playing a lower gear because you don't really want to stretch yourself that much when you have those games back at you, you know, at your back. You carry a little bit of luggage with you, or yeah, like luggage, I guess. Not luggage like real luggage. You mean like metaphorical luggage. You are generally tired because you got those games on you. So yeah, I could see them being tired from the international break and not playing at their fullest. Kule Luke saying, where are you? We need to see some rotations ahead of those Man U games. I believe that Valverde will be looking into the games of Villarreal and probably Real Sociedad to rotate a little bit. I don't think he's gonna rotate against Atletico Madrid. He won't. You know, that's a very important game. And against Villarreal, we may see one or two players, but not in the way you think. Perhaps we could see Busquets dropping out and having Rakitic as CDM with Vidal. You know, a substitution that it's good enough. We're not gonna see anything crazy like Suarez being dropped or anything. We're gonna see slight changes like Umtiti for Lenglet or similar, like I said already, like Rakitic for Busquets. Barca for saying, do you think Barca will get De Ligt and Jovic? I'm gonna do an update on those two transfers later on because it seems that now Juventus has entered a race to sign De Ligt and Real Madrid to sign Jovic. So I'm going to comment on them. I'm going to do a little bit more research. Kule Luke, what do Espanyol fans... Why do you put like asterisks? Are you just like for fun or do you mean like it's actually anything rude? Because Espanyol in my book is not anything rude, like the actual word. Do after they win La Liga or still they turn off their PlayStations. I already saw that comment somewhere else. So man, new jokes, please. New jokes. I don't accept repeated jokes. One joke is fine, then you gotta come up with a new one. That's how we do here. Andrea Pierre saying, think sometimes Valverde forces these decisions because if Dembele wasn't injured, we would see routine change and lineup. I don't understand really your question or what you're saying, your statement. Can you rephrase it if you want me to take a look at it? What do you think of Suarez? Suarez was alright. He was really, really alright. I really believe that it was a very good game. How was Lenglet? Lenglet was absolute fire. That's another thing. How are we gonna find space for the league here with Lenglet playing like this, Umtiti on the bench? It's just crazy that we have all of these good players. Really, it's really, really intense. Damian Spence saying, Buga, Valverde does not have the management skill set data is required to bring the best out of Coutinho. He really should have waited till the end of the season and reappoint Real Betis coach. I wouldn't have appointed Quique Setién. I wouldn't. And I believe that I don't care because this rotation in Barcelona, not rotation, but I mean like this new generation of players, this era is going to finish in one more year because we still got Piqué, Busquets, players like that, like Suarez, that are also still going to be in the squad. One more year, I believe that Barcelona can rejuvenate the squad, but we need that. And Valverde right now coping with us changing our squad, going for a transition period, we're still in every competition. So that's an outstanding achievement for me in my eyes. We take a look at Real Madrid right now, they're in transition periods, and look how shit they are. We take a look at teams like Liverpool, like Man U, hell, they're just starting to get into that transition after a 3-month spell of nothing happening in that club. So that's the thing that I'm trying to show to you guys. That Valverde is doing a good job with this Barcelona side that is transitioning. We're gonna see some players leave next season, big players, probably not, but they're gonna go. Not this season, I think the next one. So that's what I like Valverde is doing. I really like. And yeah, for now, let's comment upon what happened into the second half. I think we've talked about a little bit of your questions. In the second half, well, we started by seeing a Barcelona just enter the field a little more confident in my eyes. And certainly with the changes, that's when we saw everything just completely went up a level. Malcom in, of course, we saw Arthur out. Arthur, he adds so much to the midfield, but he needs that rest. Very, very important. Coutinho at the left center of midfield, outstanding, like I said, advanced playmaker. He had more space to go forward. He has more decisions to take and just can take the play wherever he wants to. And that is the Coutinho that we want to see. And yeah, after that second half, instantly better. As soon as they both arrive, I mentioned that connection between Coutinho and Malcom, and it really worked wonders. It really worked wonders. I recall back to this. Is it this play where Coutinho cuts through the middle of the midfield, passes it on to Malcom, and Malcom just has an opportunity to cross it onto Suarez, but unfortunately, I think it's, what is his name? Javi Lopez, Victor Sanchez, who's the right back? Roberto Rosales blocks it, and and it goes offside. But that's what I want to see, you know? Quick passes, open it wide. We need those quick transitions to open up teams like this. And Barcelona, with those two players, Malcom and Coutinho, were doing very, very good. In the 65th minute, we saw the introduction of Wooley as well as Sergio Garcia. Both of them are wild players. They're good players. Wooley especially have been doing good, very good in the last 5 matches. Sergio Garcia as well being a main reference at the striker position. And with that, I thought Espanyol were going to go a little bit more attacking. But Barcelona, once again, people like Lenglet, people like Piqué, are very good at closing them down, and they really didn't pose much of a threat. There were 2 situations where Espanyol got there, but the ball just luckily didn't end up in the back of the net. We saw Lenglet have an interception, and then the ball just went over Wooley. And with that, I just saw a Barcelona team that, I don't know how we're doing it, but Barcelona are not playing at the best every single game, but we're coming out with these results. Reminds me a lot of the Real Madrid when they were in the Champions League, you know? They don't play the best, but they still manage to get the results. And that is what Barcelona is doing now. But I want to praise as well that we're doing it in every single competition, because we're in the final of the Copa del Rey. We are almost practically already done with the Liga, and then we have the Champions League. Like, the Champions League has to be the main thing that we focus on now, because the Copa del Rey is 1 match, La Liga is almost wrapped up, so everything that we have has to go into that Champions League. It really has to go there. It has to go there. And then finally, in the 70th minute, we saw the goal from Lionel Messi from the free kick. Outstanding goal, by the way. And I want to point out the drums. If you heard the game like live on TV, you could hear the drums. The drums, you know, they go tun, 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 like before the free kick. And that adds so much suspense, and you could just see the face of Messi, and you just knew that it was going to go in. Like, you just knew it was going to go in. And normally, any free kick taker, any penalty kick taker, when you have so much time to think, you start doubting yourself and making conclusions, and you just get messed up. Just take a look at every most penalties. When you have so much time between the actual foul and when the penalty is taken, you have longer distances between those 2 events. Normally, the penalty kick is going to fail. But Messi, people like Messi, Ronaldo, all of them, they have this thing where they can just keep focus for 100%. And today, Messi, with that goal, kept everyone completely shut in that stadium. It was absolutely wonderful. Everyone had to do something. If I was Messi, I would like bow down in front of him. I really would. The precision for that free kick was outstanding, and it was not about power, anything. It was just like a soft, simple, delicate loft over the wall of players, and Victor Sanchez tried to get to it, but it was just gonna end in the back of the net. This free kick was one of the best I've seen. Like, the one against Real Betis, outstanding, but this one, This one was so different. It was just, there's not enough space for the ball to go like that and then back down. There's literally not enough space. It was in the border of the penalty kick. Those free kicks are really hard. And Messi saw that. He just like lofted it all over the wall and it went in perfectly. You know, his angles, it's outstanding. Like Messi, what a man. And then 80th minute, another goal from Lionel Messi. This time for Malcom. Malcom getting the assist. Very good run from Malcom as well. And if I'm not wrong, was it Coutinho that passed to Malcom again? And then Messi. You thought it was going to go to Luis Suarez, but Messi's still there. Pops up to get the goal. And people may say we depend on Messi, but Messi wouldn't have gotten that goal if it wasn't for Coutinho. It wasn't for Malcom. This team together works very good collectively. And I never believe, and I don't trust people that say Messi dependencia, that Barcelona rely on Messi. No, I really don't. Because Messi won't be the same without a team like Barcelona. Argentina cannot give Messi what he can do because they don't have the team to do so. And he has all the pressure on his back, and that's how it doesn't work. So for me, Barcelona, outstanding. We're very lucky to have him. We are very lucky. Oh my god, we're very, very lucky. Treva Nicolapo saying, what will we do about the Umtiti Lenglet case? I hope Umtiti gets a chance midweek. I hope so too. I want to see Umtiti more because Umtiti has not been bad. He's just been rusty. And I don't really know how we're going to deal with it, honestly. I honestly tell you, I don't know how we're going to deal with it. I cannot come up. Normally in situations, I can make something up or feel better about myself. But with this one, I take a look. Lenglet, Umtiti, De Ligt, Piqué. Who's going to come in, you know? What are we going to do with it? There are too many players and not enough spaces. And I cannot really think of anything. The only thing I would recommend to do is for Piqué to say, I'm going to take a time. I'm going to, you know, reduce my game time and then bring the Ligt on. That's the only way I could see anything working. If not, unfortunately, I see Umtiti being sold. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. Damon Spence, once again, third comment now this video. Would love to see Arthur and Coutinho in the midfield. Messi in the number 10 role, flanked by Dembélé and Malcom, and spearheaded by Luis Suarez. Killer attack to finish off Man United. That's just too attacking, man. That will never happen. That's just insane. Like Arthur cannot cover up for that much ground. Coutinho doesn't defend. Messi doesn't defend. Dembélé doesn't defend. Malcom doesn't defend. And Suarez, well, he defends, but like he's a striker as well, so he has to be near the box. It will be fun, but we will get destroyed by Man United if that happened, honestly. Honestly, I'll tell you, we would get destroyed by Man United if that happens. Because Rashford, Martial, easily get past the midfield, easily done, and they can score 2 goals. That's football doesn't work by getting the best players up. You need to put a very good balanced team, and with that team, we're not gonna go nowhere. Real Watts game saying, if we win the treble again, then Piqué might leave, retire, Vermaelen is leaving. Yeah, that's the thing. That's a very good thing. I believe that our how we call it? I always forget the word. Oh my god, I forgot the word. Our transition can easily get shortened if we win the treble or we win the Champions League. That's what I believe. Barcelona have done it very smartly in where if we go with Vidal, if we go with players that are already experienced, try to win the treble this year, the next one we can easily get it faster and done with. And that is something that I praise Bartomeu for doing because he was smart about this. And I really do see it. So hopefully if we get the treble, hopefully we see this rejuvenating squad much, much faster. Barca forever. Reports say the league wants Barca. Barca wants the league, of course, and Jovic priority for joining Barca because he wants to play with Messi. Yeah, I do see it all the time. But yeah, guys, I'm very happy that Barcelona is back. I'm very happy that Barcelona is back, honestly. I'm very happy that we see the games once again. We can enjoy our team. But I'm so excited about the Champions League. I'm so excited about the Champions League. I want to see Man United right now. And guys, if you didn't know already, I'm going to go to Barcelona. I'm going to be there at the Camp Nou. I'm going to see Barcelona, hopefully beat United. I'm going to see Barcelona then play against Real Sociedad. I'm going to be there. Do you think Malcom will play against Man U? It's hard to say. It's really hard to say. But for now, I wouldn't see it. probably if Dembele doesn't make it, or if we need somebody else to help us when it comes to, you know, just adding an extra little bit of oomph to that attack, a little bit more pace to it, a little bit more dribbling. That's the only way I could see Malcom playing that game, but for now, I really don't. So for now, guys, I think that's going to be everything for today. Let me just check how much we've... Yeah, 25 minutes. I think that's enough time for us to discuss. I'm going to be making a lot of videos coming up. I want to discuss Jovic, De Ligt. I want to talk about Messi and some declarations he had given on a radio station in Argentina, talking about Barcelona and, most importantly, Argentina itself. And I want to do some more videos talking about... there was one more thing I wanted to talk about. Was it... I don't know what it... I have it written down. It's a very good video as well. So those topics are going to be coming up later on the channel. And once again, if you have enjoyed, please remember to drop us a like, leave us a subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Ciao. Chaito. Bye.